So today's video is going to be on how to apply for a UK Ancestry visa and also how to apply for a Vignette transfer visa. You probably can also use this video to help you apply for the Tier 5 visa as well. Obviously the process won't be the exact same because this is for Ancestry and that one's for just being able to work abroad. So a few things would be different, but I guess this can probably help you with the whole process and everything like that. Obviously I'm not going to go into every single detail on this whole visa process because you probably would have already gone onto the website and seen what the requirements are and what you need to do to get the visa. So this is really just me sort of helping you and telling you about my experience and what documents I brought and what you have to do in the application and what you have to do at the appointment, and also how to get the Vignette transfer as well. Also, if you have any questions about the visa or the Vignette transfer visa, please don't hesitate to comment below or direct message me on YouTube or message me on Facebook, because I'm really happy to help if anyone needs help. Because when I was applying for this visa, if I'd found a video like this, it would have been really helpful. So make sure you comment below if you do have a question that I haven't answered, please. I've also put a bunch of links below, so make sure you go have a look at those, and make sure you also subscribe to my channel, which the link will probably be somewhere around here. There's like a little red box that says subscribe. Make sure you do that as well, and if you enjoy the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. So let's get into the video because I'm going to be rambling for a very long time. So firstly is the cost of the visa, which is roughly $800 Australian for myself because I was living in Perth. I think we pay a little bit more in Perth and another state. I think this is because that we get the visa and your passport sent back to you after the application. You don't have to go pick it up. So I think you pay extra for that. I'm not really sure, but obviously, you know, we always have to pay extra for things for some reason. So that's just how much it costs for me in Perth, Australia, because obviously it'll be different in other countries as well. Sorry if I keep looking down, it's just because I've got my laptop here and I've got lots of notes of what I want to say, so that's why I keep looking down, because obviously I would not be able to remember all of this. Also, there's the NHS, which is the National Healthcare Surcharge, which has just come into action for Australian and New Zealanders in April. I think everyone else in the world actually had to pay this anyway. We were just exempt for a long time, and then since April we've had to pay for that, and that's actually roughly 1,800 Australian dollars at the moment. So you also will have to pay for that, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure the lighting's gotten really bright. Make sure you look at the link below of like the whole visa thing as well, because that'll mainly tell you like all the specific prices and everything. This is just me just roughly saying what it was for me. And also another really important thing is when to apply for the visa. So the reason why the earliest you can apply is only 3 months. It's because on the date that you start the application, it's 3 months from that day, and then you'll get a 30-day period you can enter the UK. When you get your visa, which is actually not your visa, it's sort of just your entry into the UK. It's just like a sticker, like an entry sticker. It'll be that 30-day period. So for example, if you apply for your visa on the 2nd of March, and then from the 2nd of June to the 2nd of July, you'll have 30 days to enter the UK. It actually has an example on the website now, but when I applied for it, it actually didn't have an example, hence why I actually stuffed up my visa. Also link below and above I messed up my visa video as well, so you can hear about what happened. I will also be doing a blog post on how to apply for the UK Ancestry visa / Vignette transfer very, very soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll put it below as well. I haven't got my website up and running yet, so that might be a while. But so the first part of the process is to make an account on the UK government visa website, and then you need to apply for the visa online. So the application process consists of, you fill out the application form, which is like, it shouldn't take you that long, and then you also need to pay for your visa and then also book your appointment. The next step is to gather all the relevant documents that you'll need to take to your appointment. You probably need to start doing this like way before you start the application process and the visa, because some documents probably will take you a while to source. Like for example, birth certificates, if you don't have them, if your grandparents don't have theirs, it might take you a while to source them. It's kind of a big process sometimes to do those things, to get those documents. So make sure you're prepared. So from looking at the website, the most important things in my experience that you'll need to prove with these documents will be your Ancestry link, and also to show you have enough money saved. So I don't think it actually mentions on the UK Ancestry page how much money you need to have saved, but I'm pretty sure the Tier 2 or Tier 5 visa, or whichever visa it is that's just the 2-year working visa. I think it's roughly 1,600 pounds, which is roughly 3,500, 4,000 Australian dollars. So I just based it off that. I actually didn't have enough money saved at the time for when I applied for the visa. So what I did was I got my dad to transfer me some money so that when I printed out my statements, it showed that I had money in there. Obviously, once the process was done, I transferred him back the money, and in the meantime, I've saved that money anyway. So you can do that as well. I don't even think it's a big deal because I applied for my visa actually way too far in advance, so that's the reason why I didn't have enough money saved. But obviously, like I said, by the time you go, I've saved the money. So it's just to show them that you've got money, and you've got money. Okay, so the list of documents you'll need, make sure you also have a copy of everything as well, because they will take originals of some things. They won't take originals of birth certificates, but they'll probably take originals of everything else. So some people might think some of these documents are really unnecessary to bring to the appointment, but I feel like if you have loads of different documents proving your point about why you should get the Ancestry visa, then you might as well take them. You'd rather have more of a chance to get the visa than not, obviously, because you may have to reschedule the appointment. You might miss out on getting the visa altogether, and you might lose money. Take your passport. That's probably the number one most important thing, because then you'll give them your passport and they have to send it off to wherever the visa gets stamped in. Your visa application, which you filled out online, so make sure you print that off as well. Also a passport photo, you have to paste that onto your application, and also the confirmation of your appointment time. So when it comes to Ancestry documents, you will need to have your grandparents, your parent, and your birth certificate, and maybe even a marriage certificate. I don't think the marriage certificate is really that important, because I think if you've got yours, your parents, and your grandparents' birth certificates, and your last name's not the same, I think it's pretty obvious that you're all related. Obviously, the most important one is the parent or the grandparent who was born in the UK. So next is showing that you have a proof of funds, bank statements to show your savings, to show that you saved money over a period of time. I think a lot of forums were saying you need to show that you've saved a certain amount of money each week or whatever over 6 months and all that sort of thing, but I don't think that really matters that much, because I did get my dad to just transfer me a couple grand, like sort of in lump sums over a few weeks, so I don't even think it really matters, and I got the visa. And also extra documents you can bring as well is bank statements to show you're getting paid from your job that you have at home as well, just to show that you have an income coming in every week, to show that you can save money and you know how to handle money, I don't know, something like that, and to also show that you get paid on a regular basis. And then also I brought in pay slips as well, just to show that the job I have is legit and the payments are legit, and then also my employment agreement from the place that I'm working at the moment, to show that I actually work there. Some people may think that's a bit unnecessary, but I feel like the more documents you have, the better. So anything extra that you should bring would be the flight itinerary, to show that you've booked the flight. So also another thing that would come in handy as well is to get your family member that you might be staying with over there to write you a letter. So my auntie wrote me a letter. So she wrote a letter just sort of stating that I'll be living with her and she'll be able to help me out, and it just shows that you have support when you first get over there. Okay, so once you have all the documents ready for your appointment, it's time to go to your appointment. So this is sort of what I experienced in Perth. I think it will probably be a little bit different in different states and maybe different countries. So all they do at the appointment is ask for your documents, take your photo, get your fingerprints and your signature, and you hand over your passport, and it usually lasts about 10 minutes. So my tips would be to arrive like early. Like it does say to arrive 15 minutes before your appointment. I just like to arrive even more earlier than that. I just like to be super duper sure I get in there on time. And also just wear sort of smart casual clothes. You don't have to be super duper dressed up. It's not like a job interview or anything. Just you want to make sure you haven't crawled out of a bin. You just want to make sure you haven't looked like you've crawled out of a bin. Also, just make sure you're honest as well, because at the very start when you're in the waiting room, you just have to do a little checklist to say all the documents that you have as well. If you're unsure, just write it on the back of what documents you have, because some of them, I feel like it wasn't very clear on what documents, what it meant. And sometimes if you tick yes, they get really weird and start questioning you about why you ticked yes, and you're like, well, I don't know. So once the appointment's finished, you'll probably wait about 3 weeks or so, and then they'll also email you saying that the passport is on its way, and then within a week or so you will receive your passport. So it's probably a month in total that you have to wait. And I think also in Perth we pay a little bit extra to get it directly sent to us, which I think I mentioned earlier anyway. Otherwise I think you have to pick it up, but you probably will know if you have to pick it up or it will get sent to you. If you're successful, you'll get the 30-day period that you have to enter the UK, and when you enter the UK in that 30-day period, it will activate your visa. So congratulations if you got your visa in your first go. But I want to talk about when things sort of go wrong. Say for example, you applied for the visa and you've got the 30-day period, but you're actually leaving maybe a week after that or a week before that, or you know, it just ended up not working out. Don't worry, because you can actually apply for a Vignette transfer or a transfer visa. Like I mentioned earlier, watch my I messed up my visa video, because it'll sort of go into a little bit more detail about how I stuffed up my visa. So you just need to bring all the exact same documents that you had in the original appointment. So firstly, I think it costs roughly $450 Australian. It can depend on which state and which country you live in, obviously. I think it actually costs less once that 30-day period had expired. I'll also link below information on that Vignette transfer visa on their website as well. So you just apply for it the exact same way that you applied for the original visa, so the 3-month thing, and then make sure you allow for that 30-day period. You just go through the whole process again, the application, the appointment, the waiting time, and then you should receive it. So I'm pretty sure I applied for my Vignette transfer on the 29th of June, so that I'd get the 30-day period between the 29th of September and to the 28th of October, because I leave 19th of October. But for some reason, my Vignette transfer 30-day period was from the 19th of October to the 18th of November, which I thought was strange, because I thought it was 3 months and then 30 days. And I also did put my flight details in there, so maybe when you do the Vignette transfer, they don't really do the whole 30-day thing. They just sort of do it on whatever date you actually leave. I'm not really sure. I feel like that maybe that doesn't apply to it, because you're transferring into the correct date, so they actually transfer it into the right time by what you've said. They don't do the whole 30-day thing. I don't really know, but it ended up working out. So anyway, this concludes my video. I really hope it helped you, and honestly, please direct message me on here or comment below or Facebook message me if you have any questions. I'm really happy to help. When I was applying for this visa, it was really hard to find information on it, and I was really stressed, because it's just you're taking a leap of faith when you apply for things and paying all that money for it, and to stuff it up in the end, it's just really annoying, because you lose so much money and it's so much time as well. So please don't hesitate to ask me questions. If you do want to directly contact the UK government visa place, I wouldn't email them at all, because they're not helpful. They're very general with the answers and they don't help you at all. I would call the UK number direct. I think you do have to tell them your credit card details over the phone and pay for it, but I don't remember ever being charged for it. I don't know, but I think it's worth it just for that peace of mind if you do have a question and you're just really stuck and you can't find the answer, because the lady was really helpful when I called her when I'd stuffed up my visa and I had to get the Vignette transfer. So I'll also put the number below as well, or the contact page and stuff like that, because I find the website very sort of hard to navigate. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.